everyone, and welcome to Newt Brothers Presents A Day at Crater Lake, your eco-bus tour that takes you through the climate, the wildlife, the weather, and everything that Crater Lake has to offer. Now here at Crater Lake, we usually experience yearly snowfall with the exception of 3 months of summer. And outside of that, there's 2 times throughout the year where we get heavy rainfall. One of them is this period now between October and January, and then later on between March and about May. Now here at Crater Lake, we're considered taiga biome, which means watch out for the standards of bears and jaguars and all kinds of forest animals that are around. Since we have a close proximity to the Pacific Ocean, and we're also a subarctic climate right by those snowy mountains, we tend to get those 2 weathers I mentioned of just summer and winter, and it balances out quite well for us here at Crater Lake. For those of you who are staying near here at the Mazama Village or Crater Lake Lodge, our average weather around is between the 30s and the 70s around this time. Now for those of you who are here for the star of our attraction, which is Crater Lake itself, a couple of fun facts. The majority of water in Crater Lake actually comes from the snowfall that happens year-round as opposed to the rainfall. In addition to that, the structure and the sediment around actually keeps to help filter out this lake so that it ends up being super clear and super free of like extra sediment that comes in from other properties, since you get no water from rivers or creeks out here at Crater Lake. In addition to the clarity of this lake, and also an added bonus, sunlight can travel up to 400 feet down into the base of the lake, which allows for moss to grow that deep and gather that sunlight that they need. The majority of decomposers here at Crater Lake are diatom moss, blue and green algae, and a moss called Drepanocladus moss. Hope I didn't botch that name. Now, unfortunately, we won't be able to see some of those delicious decomposers up close and personal, but we will get a chance to see on this tour some of the producers and consumers that eat them. This food web here helps to illustrate that from that level of moss and algae, we now move up to freshwater shrimp, water fleas known as Daphnia, and also snails that will consume that moss and that algae. From there, now we move up to the newts. Now here in this area, actually only allowed here in this area because this is their native region, is Mazama newts. Mazama newts are then consumed by rainbow trout and kokanee salmon, which will then in turn be fed to the tourists here in this area. We love our fish here at Crater Lake, so it helps to make that cycle a little bit easier for you to understand so you can see what's really going on here on a daily basis.